If you're chasing her more than your future, you've already lost. She's not leaving because you're too much. She's leaving because you're not enough of a man yet. Build so hard she has to Google your name just to remember what she walked away from. You want the truth about relationships? Fine, I'll give you the truth no one else has the balls to say. Modern dating is a battlefield, and most of you walk into it unarmed, emotionally fragile, validation seeking, with zero value built and an ego inflated by delusion. You've been raised to think if you're nice enough, if you're loyal enough, if you treat her right, she'll love you forever. Absolute nonsense. That's not how women operate. That's not how the real world works. You've been sold a fairy tale built by people who wanted you weak, passive, compliant. Because a weak man is easy to control, and a man who needs a woman to feel whole will always compromise who he is just to keep her. That's not love. That's slavery dressed in romance. Women don't love men who chase. They love men who lead. They love men who don't explain every move, who don't ask permission to be powerful. A man who stands firm, who owns his decisions, who commands his life like a general. And you've been told to bow down. You've been told to understand her needs while she disrespects your time, your values, your mission. You tolerate disrespect, hoping she'll change. But let me break the illusion. If she doesn't respect you from day one, she never will. Respect isn't something you beg for, it's something you become. You want her to submit? Become someone she wants to follow. You want her loyalty? Build a life she doesn't want to lose. Because the second she senses weakness, the second she smells desperation, it's over. She'll smile, nod, play nice, and emotionally clock out behind your back. You'll never know when it started. You'll just feel it, that distance, that coldness, that shift from love to obligation. And you'll sit there confused, asking what went wrong, when the truth is simple: you lost yourself trying to keep her. You don't win in relationships by being available. You win by being undeniable. The man who wakes up early, hits the gym, stacks his money, sharpens his mind, stays locked in, he becomes magnetic. His energy radiates certainty. He doesn't ask a woman to stay. She fights to earn a place beside him. Why? Because women don't want perfection. They want presence, power, direction. A woman would rather cry in a Lamborghini than laugh on a bicycle. Not because she's shallow, but because security, ambition, and dominance are sexy. A man on a mission is a walking fantasy. You either become him or get forgotten by the ones who want him. And I get it. You've been hurt. You've been betrayed. You gave everything to a woman and she still left. That pain, that betrayal, good. Let it harden you. Let it break the weak parts. That wasn't failure. That was rebirth. That was life slapping you in the face and saying, wake up. You gave your kingdom to a peasant. But now it's time to build again, stronger, smarter, colder. Not because you hate women, but because you finally understand them. Because you've stopped living for their love and started living for your legacy. This doesn't mean you treat women with bitterness. It means you command respect before you offer love. You set the tone, you choose, you filter. Every woman you entertain is either your peace or your poison. And a man who knows his worth doesn't let chaos in his castle. That's the truth. If she isn't helping you build, she's helping you break. And you can't afford to break anymore. You are not here to worship women. You are here to build a life worth worshiping. And when that life is solid, the right woman will fall into place naturally. She'll respect your time. She'll nurture your ambition. She'll follow your lead, not out of fear, but out of admiration. Because deep down, every real woman wants a man she can look up to. And the moment you give her that, she'll do anything to keep it. You were never meant to be soft, emotional, always available. You were meant to be sharp, ruthless, unshakable, a leader. And in a world full of boys chasing bodies and begging for attention, be the man who chases purpose and commands attention. Be the man who doesn't get heartbroken over women because he's too busy building a kingdom that women beg to be part of. And this is your wake-up call. This is the moment you stop crying over lost love and start creating a life so powerful, so high value, that the same women who once ignored you now compete just to be in your presence. That's how you win. That's how you date from power. That's how you take your throne back. I remember a time years ago when I gave everything to a woman who didn't even know how to value a man. I was young, full of drive, but blind to the truth. I thought loyalty meant sacrifice. I thought love meant tolerance. I was building my empire with bare hands while giving her the crown before it was even earned. She didn't push me to greatness. She didn't sharpen me. She drained me. Every day was an emotional tug of war, and I kept showing up, hoping she'd match my energy. But here's the thing, when a woman senses you're willing to put her above your purpose, she loses respect for you. Not out of cruelty, but because you just proved you're not the man she needs. She doesn't want to be your purpose. She wants to witness it, orbit around it, feel safe inside it. but I hadn't learned that yet. I learned the hard way. There was one night I came home after hustling for 16 hours straight, exhausted, drained, trying to build something from scratch. And instead of support, I got complaints. Instead of understanding, I got passive aggression. You never spend time with me. That one sentence shattered the illusion. Because in that moment, I realized she didn't see the bigger picture. She didn't see the late nights, the endless pressure, the weight I carried on my shoulders, trying to give her a future 99% of women only fantasize about. I wasn't her partner. I was her emotional outlet, her therapist, her punching bag, and I let it happen. I enabled it, thinking one day she'd see the man I was becoming. But some people never do because they're not wired to walk next to greatness. They're wired to drain it. But that's when it hit me. She doesn't love you for who you are. She loves you for who you are to her. And the moment you stop serving her emotional comfort, she'll look elsewhere. That's not love. That's convenience. And it was the moment I realized I had to walk away, not out of bitterness, but because I respected myself too much to stay in a cage I built for someone else's comfort. Most men never get to that point. They keep trying to fix what's broken when what's broken is them. Their standards, their self-respect, their direction. You don't fix your life by fixing people who refuse to grow with you. After I cut ties, I poured every ounce of energy into becoming the version of me that she could never deserve. I wasn't chasing revenge, I was chasing rebirth. Every gym session, every business move, every early morning and late night became a declaration that I would never again beg for love. I would command it. And as I elevated, something amazing happened. Women started to notice. Not because I was chasing them, but because I had become unchaseable. When you no longer need them, they become addicted to your presence. That's the paradox most men never understand. You don't attract by needing, you attract by becoming irreplaceable. I had a woman come back years later telling me she regretted everything. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I was too stupid to see it. But by then it was too late. The man she hurt was gone. In his place stood a man she could never manipulate again. That's what growth looks like, not revenge, but elevation. And if you're still crying over a woman who didn't see your value, you're disrespecting the man you're meant to become. The right woman doesn't challenge your masculinity. She fuels it. She doesn't compete with your purpose. She complements it. She sees your drive and says, let's go further. But you'll never meet her if you're still clinging to mediocrity. You'll never attract her if you haven't first mastered yourself. And that's the brutal truth. The highest quality women don't want the man you are. They want the man you're becoming, and they're watching. Every day you wake up, every time you skip the excuses, every time you chase your purpose instead of their validation, you're becoming that man. And when you finally meet her, she won't come to distract you. She'll come to lock in. But you only get that level of woman when you've sacrificed comfort for character, when you've bled in silence and came back sharper, when you've turned heartbreak into hunger. Because a man who's been broken but rebuilt himself, he's unbreakable. And that kind of man, that's the man women respect, admire, follow, and fight to keep. Most men are walking around in invisible chains, pretending they're free, while a woman's opinion dictates every move they make. You don't even realize it, but you've been programmed. You've been taught that validation from a woman equals worth, that if she's not texting back, something must be wrong with you, that if she pulls away, you have to chase harder, be nicer, do more. You've built your identity around being accepted instead of becoming exceptional. And the worst part, you think that's normal. You don't even question it anymore. A man who doesn't know who he is will always be told who to become. And when you let her define you, you're not in a relationship, you're in a prison. And you handed her the keys. There's a war going on, and it's not with weapons, it's with identity. You were never taught how to be a man. You were taught how to be useful to a woman. You were raised to please, to perform, to beg for scraps of affection like a trained dog. That's why when she leaves, your whole world falls apart, because you didn't build one without her. You made her the centerpiece of your existence. And now that she's gone, you have nothing. No direction, no purpose, no foundation. And here's the brutal truth. That's your fault. She was never supposed to be your compass. She was supposed to be a witness to the journey, not the reason you started walking. Every second you waste thinking about her is a second stolen from your own evolution. The longer you chase what left you, the longer you delay who you're meant to become. She made a decision, respect it. Let it fuel you, not freeze you. Pain is the price of growth. If she broke your heart, good. Let it break open the version of you that was too soft, too compliant, too forgettable. Use it.